So who did the casting then, Trudie?
Sorry?
Who did the casting?
Well, Sting was doing us a favour at the time. You know, we roped him in because we hadn't got really anybody who was well-known. We had Vinny, but he wasn't really well-known other than as the hard man of soccer at the time, and Sting did us all a favour. Anyway, it's done him quite a bit of good, I think.
I think we should tell everybody, actually. This is quite funny because literally just before we came on air, Trudie, you know, was just getting ready and everything. And who turned up but Sting? So he's lying up in a dressing room at the moment watching the telly.
No, I hope he's gone. It makes me nervous.
Because he was out and about in town this morning, was he?
Yeah,
He decided to drop in.
He's promoting his new song, Brand New Day, which is a...
Well, he can come on to Open House anytime he wants.
And so he should.
And so he should, is absolutely... We'll coerce him into doing it. Actually, it's funny, though. I guess in the past, you've gone through the whole syndrome of being known as Sting's wife. So do you feel that your new career in movies has given you an extra credibility in your own right?
That's nice of you to say so. I'm very proud to be Sting's wife.
Of course.
And yeah, it's nice now sort of seeing a credit without him. But it never really bothered me in the past.
Never, because some people it does, doesn't it? They sort of feel, well, look, I'm an actress in my own right, I'm this, I'm that. Why am I always referred to as something else?
I think actors too probably suffer more. They're not sort of in command as much as a producer. You know, you really feel as a producer you're more in the driving seat. You make decisions and have responsibility, maybe that actors don't feel that they have.
So do you still think you'll do some acting alongside?
Yeah, I did a film actually earlier on in the year with James Earl Jones in New York, and that was fun. It was I played a rock singer actually.
Oh, did you? So have you got a good voice?
No.
Pardon me for not knowing then.
No, they're going to have to stick someone else's singing voice in. I'm firmly told I may not even sing in the bath, it's that bad.
Just didn't give you a few coaching lessons on the song.
Yeah, it just says, just don't sing.
Actually, because we're going to be talking about organic food later on, obviously, with Joseph in the kitchen. I mean, it's amazing that you've got 60 acres and a lot of it is given over to being self-sufficient. So how self-sufficient are you?
Well, we're pretty much self-sufficient for 7 months of the year, and then the rest of the time we buy in from a local organic farm. But we've just acquired another 100 acres that we're putting into conversion. Conversion means that we're converting the soil into organic soil. That takes 2 years. So when that's finished, I hope that we'll be self-sufficient throughout the year.
So it's a serious business.
I take it very seriously. I really think that you know, the move to Lake House was really precipitated by the fact that I wanted the children to have a rural upbringing as I had had, and my really disillusionment with the betrayal, the real big betrayal of our food industry. You know, beginning with the salmonella scare way back in the Edwina Curry days, to BSE, to you know the link now with dairy products and Crohn's disease. And the more that I look into what we're doing to our soils and what we're adding to our vegetables in the form of these pretty deadly pesticides that are around still, and that there's one particular one that was banned in England, in the rest of Europe a few years ago. We still use it prolifically, and it's a known carcinogen.
It's interesting, though, the whole GM scare, though, has pushed more and more people who may not have thought particularly about it towards organic food.
Exactly.
Because we had an expert saying, well, really, organic is the only safe food around now, basically.
And this is the very latest, isn't it, in food scare stories, and we don't know really the end of what'll happen with GM products. I think that it's really opening a can of very poisonous worms.
Do you sell any of the produce from the farm?
No, we don't. We're not really large enough to sell. But
just a lot of acres to feed one family, isn't it?
It is, and we've got great neighbours that we give our surplus to in the form of little, you know, boxes and baskets of vegetables. I like to do that.
So, Trudie, when you're looking out from your very, very beautiful house on your 60 acres, do you ever think back to your upbringing? And I gather you lived in a council estate.
I did live in a council estate, but we had a lovely garden, and my mum and dad were gardeners. My dad, you know, grew his own vegetables, and I had my own Sweet William patch. So I really do consider that I had a rural upbringing. And my dad, before he had to work in a factory, was a farm labourer himself. So my auntie and uncle had a farm that I used to spend a lot of time.
So do you think that's where you got your love, if you like, of ecology and you know, thinking of the land rather than
but when we were kids, we used to sort of go around the family saying, what would we do if we came up on the pools? And I always said, you know, I'd buy a farm. That's what I'd do. So here I have come up on the pools.
That's right, you hit the jackpot. Yeah. No, but it's, do you think that you will take it further now, or are you just really going to restrict it to your own family and organic gardening just for your surroundings? Or do you think you might go into it one day commercially?
I don't know whether I'll go into it commercially, but what I really am really very intent on is that more people in this country know that they are the consumers. If they demand to have better food, then the supply will fill that demand. But it's up to us to really know what we're being given in the form of food. You know, some of these pesticides, as I've said, are known carcinogens. In Lincolnshire, there's a product that they use called lindane, which is a very deadly pesticide. And in the UK, we have the highest incidence of breast cancer in the entire world. I know you know that, Gloria, because you know this is one of your concerns.
Yes, it is.
And in Lincolnshire, it's 40% higher than the rest of the UK. And you have to make a correlation between the fact that breast cancer being 40% up on the rest of the UK and this prolific use of this deadly pesticide, which is freely sprayed on sugar beet for cow feed, which in turn the cows consume, and then it goes into our milk supply. So this is something that really does concern me, and if I can get, you know, the word out there to really be, for us to be much more conscious on what we're consuming, I hope that that, you know, could make a difference.
Well, we'll do a bit of it later on, I think, with Joseph in the kitchen and all the baskets of food. I don't know whether the camera can get over to that. Mario, take a little shot there of the basket in the corner. In fact, we've got two of them. All grown in your garden.
Yeah, absolutely.
And picked freshly this morning, so we'll be cooking those up later on. But for the moment, will you thank for me Trudie Styler? Thanks, Trudie, very much. Lovely. Now, coming up after the break, we're joined by one of the true elder statesmen of British politics, the Right Honourable Tony Benn, whose latest video diaries are a real candid camera, so don't go too far away. See you soon.